do. What's going on out there this fine Tuesday evening in MECA land? 8 o'clock, I guess it's time for BudTalk. How's everybody doing this week? I hope you're doing all right. How's everybody doing this week? Get my chat going here. Yay. What's going on, Mr. Beard, Mr. Jeremy? Still snowed in. I went out today for a little bit. We got about, 6 or 8 inches. They act like it was going to be a lot more, but thankfully it didn't get us that bad, but it's definitely cold out there. I don't want to leave no more again. What else we got going on this fine week here? Let's see. I'm going to have Mr. Jake and Curt on here with me tonight, so I'll get them on here shortly, and we'll talk about what's going on. Maybe I'll talk about a few of the rules and things, since I probably won't post the rule books to the actual website until we switch it. I am going to work about, I think maybe I can put the PDFs on Facebook, hopefully when I'm done. But I think everything's complete at this point, except for still waiting on the last stamp of approval on the sound pressure book, I think. So it shouldn't be too much longer on that, and I'll start, at the very least, I'll start posting some posts, and we'll start talking about live on some of the changes and updates on the 2026 rules. I know, like I said a couple times on the live here in the last couple weeks, we went through a lot of them, and pretty much, worked pretty hard on everything and overhauled some stuff, and I'm pretty excited about the upcoming year. So that's all good. What are you guys up to this fine week? 24 inches of snow. What's going on, Mr. Chad, Mr. Smolinski? $14 inches of snow. That's too many. What's going on, Miss Alt? So it does look like the next events we have coming up are the Florida 4X, February 7th. That'll be the 4X at Hernando County Fairgrounds there in Brooksville, Florida. So Shannon and I will be headed down to Florida here in the next, I guess, about 7 or 8 days here. So 10 days-ish. We're going to be heading to Florida to do the 4X, and then we're going to follow that up with a judges training in Kissimmee, Florida on the 8th. So I think the registration for that is closed at this point. I believe we ended up having about 18 folks that are going to attend. So it's going to be a good training. Like I said, I've been knee deep working pretty good on that stuff for the last 2-3 weeks here, and pretty happy with that too, because there's a lot of training stuff that we needed to get, I guess, a little bit more standardized and things like that. So hopefully I've accomplished that at this point, if I wasn't too cross-eyed in the middle of the night while I was doing it. So hopefully all that stuff's going to help for the future. 10 degrees, boo. We won't post it on our website until we get all of the like fine details hammered out. I'm pretty confident at this point. Obviously we're going to be there. You have to get tickets through their website, anyways. So I don't actually have the pre-registration for tickets. If you go to last week's live, I believe there should be a link in the comments there where you'll be able to find a place to get the tickets. And yes, we will be there. But I think that Shannon's still got a few things to iron out. So once everything gets ironed out, we'll get it up there. What's going on, Kyle? Let's see here. All right, I think I'm caught up now. I didn't see any other questions there. I think Valentine weekend, we've got the Cupid out the Shack 2X coming in Temple, Texas. So make sure you get out there for that one. And then I'll get a new list together of the events that are upcoming next week, and we'll go a few weeks out there. But that's what we got coming right in the next couple weeks here. So I'm getting excited about Florida. It should be a good time. Looking forward to seeing all the Florida folks and, getting some 4Xs going. So I guess since we're talking about 4Xs and we're talking about changes and we're talking about rules and, all that good stuff, I'm going to get Jake and Curt on here in just a second. But so I know some of you or most of you, a lot of you guys watch pretty faithfully, so I appreciate that. Sometimes I give you some good information, sometimes I give you some important information, and sometimes I don't. But I'll try to bring that Florida back, Maurice. But 4X event this time down in Florida. We got award sponsors, audio sellers, and US Amps. So big shout out to those folks. US Amps and audio sellers, both of them, thank them for their support on these awards. I'm also, I believe at this time, I think US Amps, Arc Audio, and Prodigy, it's safe to say, I think those three companies will be on board with us this year. So thanks, you guys. And I'll be getting some more out about that here shortly, too. A lot been going on. Anyway, so back to the 4X and the points and all that. So I know a lot of you heard that we were going to raise the points requirement up to 65 points. What's going on, Mr. JC Crane, Mr. Moseley? So that is true. All divisions or classes will require 65 points. You still qualify pretty much the same way. The points don't transfer between classes. You have to earn 65 points in that particular class. With that said, for the 4Xs this year, I decided that I wanted people to be a little more competitive. I wanted to give competitors, a more of a reason to want to come and win those shows. Obviously, we do the 4Xs to try to help with qualifications for finals and etc. Most of them are marquee events in those states. Shannon and I are present for the world records, etc., etc. So we're going to go with a little bit different of a point scheme on the 4Xs this season. We're going to go with 30 points to win. So first place at a 4X will be 30 points now. Everybody that attends will still get the 15 points. it'll just work out more like a regular event going towards the top rather than just getting 1 point per place. So everybody 6th place and below, or 5th place and below, however you want to view that. But basically, from 6th place down, you'll get your 15 points just for competing. 5th place will be 18 points. 4th place will be 21. 3rd place will be 24. 2nd place will be 27, and 1st place will be 30. So we're restructuring the 4X points, to kind of not only help alleviate some of the difficulty, maybe acquiring 65 points, even though I think 65 was a pretty fair number. It'll help with that, but the real thing for me was I wanted to bring back some of that competitive spirit, so it's worth it for those competitors that do come out and win those events. So there's a little bit more, hopefully, prestige involved with that now. And like I said, we'll see how that goes. What's going on, Tony, Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. JC Crane, Mr. Dustin, Mr. Danny Black? What's going on, Mr. Madison? Mr. John Stacy? So hopefully everybody gets that. And before I go off on any other tangents, I'm going to try to get Curt and Joe in here. I just thought I'd try to drop that a little bit. What's going on, Jeffrey? I hope you're doing all right, brother. Mr. Cassidy, what's going on? What's going on? So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you can shoot them. But I guess at this time, I'm going to get Curt and Jake on here. And I don't know, we might talk about a couple of the other things, or 1 or 2 more things that, we may change, or that we did change. So I think that's what I wanted to go over as far as the general rules were concerned. What's going on, Mr. Bryant? Audio sellers in the building. What's going on? Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that for now. Like I said, I'm gonna make some Facebook posts for you guys, some stuff that'll outline what the changes are, hopefully clear up any confusion or anything like that. But as always, if you like to ask a question, you can do it here. So again, we did raise to 65 points. However, 4X's, the scoring or points distribution is going to change. So if you missed that, go back a few minutes and you'll hear what I got. So let's get these couple guys on here and see if we can raise a little bit of I can't say that one. Let's see. Here's Jake. Here's Jake. And here's Curt.
What up?
What's going on, y'all?
Nada, man. How's it going for you?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. What y'all up to? Playing in the garage, playing video games? That's what it looks like. One of you's in the garage, one of you's on the video games.
Yeah, same old, man. We're built different, you know? Yeah, I'm always in the garage. Yeah, there's that age gap again. Man. So yeah, I'm just working on my house for like the last 6 weeks, you know.
Right.
If you think car audio is expensive, once you rebuild a house, you know, that sucks. So
well, don't burn
I'm on
it
the
down.
tail end of it though. That already happened once.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't do the electric, so you know. Just saying. I'm not the guy that does it cheaper.
Right. Jake from State Farm.
I got rid of the khakis.
So I can go and get last place and still go to finals. I mean, you could do that even if you got first place for real. But, you know, I wouldn't ask me how I know.
Gooping.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mr. Haslage, Mr. Petty? Jake's got a nice cup.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, what y'all want to tell these clowns?
Hell, I don't know. I mean, I got a
They
pretty
don't
cool
know.
award today.
Yeah.
There needs to be a
let's talk about that.
referee.
Yeah.
You got an award?
Yeah, I got a pretty cool award today. It like hit me in the mouth. I didn't know it was coming. So I got this here. I'll see if I can pan back enough. So this is from Team DC Audio.
That's cool.
The loudest of the team for 2025. So they even spelled my name right. It's unbelievable. So yeah,
Wait, is it Curt or Curtis?
it's Curtis, you know, like I didn't want that fight, you know. So, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool because there's some pretty gnarly guys on that team, you know. They get down, so pretty cool, you know. A lot of help along the way. That's not for one person though, you know. It takes a team to do that, you know. Like I got people that have my back all the time, you know. So that's pretty cool.
Maurice, the flyer or whatever is probably wrong on Facebook because I decided to do that like 3 days ago, bro.
Banana Commander's a comment. Bananas are coming in. No, Banana Commander's a comment.
But 4X's are 30 points for the winner. So 15 points for everybody that competes. And then basically 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30 going up the ladder. But no, the flyers and stuff probably I know they have not been changed because I just now put it in the rule book like 3 days ago, and I'm still waiting for the official stamp, but we're doing that one. So I figured I could go ahead and tell you, just to try to, you know, alleviate some of the confusion and things. And maybe some of you that were scared about being able to get 65 points, you can still basically do it in 2 weekends if you plan accordingly. What's going on, Mr. Matt, Mr. Tully, Mr. Mike Mack? What's going on, Mr. JP? All right, so Curt got him a special award because he was loudest man on the team, huh?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. Took a lot of work to get that, that's for sure.
Right?
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, shut up.
Going on, Mr. Gotel.
I'm not gonna make you address me different, Jake.
I mean, I guess since I got Curt on here, I can call this "We Screwed Curt on Live" and we could start talking about another rule I changed.
Oh, go right ahead, pumpkin. You ain't gonna screw me.
All right,
but proceed, sir.
Proceed.
Yes.
Oh man, Curt, man, I stole Curt's mad scientist abilities. He can no longer make the front of his kick panel look like a grade school science project.
No, you didn't do nothing, man. You just changed my major. You know what I mean? I'll just have to put work somewhere else now, you know. You know, everybody's got the same set of rules, you know. Like I know I'm not gonna be outworked, you know. So I'll just find it somewhere else.
I don't know. I guess maybe some history for the folks watching and stuff like that. Like I kind of feel like we went full circle, Curt. You know, like we started out this whole thing. If I remember right, I think we originally metered in the floor.
Oh yeah, that was one of them
And,
for sure.
yeah, and then, you know, over the years or whatever, it got moved to the headrest, and then basically kick scores were gone out of MECA for a while, and then all of a sudden, you know, people wanted them, so we added a couple, and we added a couple, and now everybody's back to taking the floor score like more serious than it was kind of intended, the way it was written. And I, I've been getting feedback for the last couple years about adding a class here and there because people want it to be fair, and I felt like, you know, if we're going to take it serious and add the classes and all that stuff, let's take it serious, you know. So I mean, I'm always a huge fan of having fun and having grade school projects, so you know, it don't really bother me, I guess, personally. But I guess if we're going to treat it as a what I want to call it, if we're going to treat it as a premier division, it should have premier rules, right?
Absolutely.
So there's now a pretty precise meter placement guide in the X class. And you can no longer have the shrouds or the pockets or anything like that. I didn't write no Deadner rule, and I'm extremely against that. So please don't make me. But it's pretty clear. Pretty clear that I guess the pocket scores are over with in X class. So everybody that was against that, come get you some. I promise you, it probably ain't as bad as or I promise you, it ain't what you thought it was. So I'm sure they're all ready. So at the end of the day, hopefully that makes a few people happy, gives a few more people, you know, the feeling or the, you know, the drive that they feel competitive, and you know, we'll go from there. So that was one change, I guess, that's significant, that I figured it would be good right now to talk about it, since I can single out my buddy Curt and make him laugh and put him on the spot.
Yeah. So Radical X class is exempt from that rule, correct? But all the others will apply, whether it's, you know, MSX or XM2 or whatever.
I screwed you all the way down the pipe, buddy.
Even in Radical X?
Yeah.
Oh, well. That
I actually gave Radical X some dimensions to follow.
Oh,
And if you don't have a full extreme dash, I mean, I guess you could maybe get away with it if you did it correctly. You would just have to place it in the very correct spot.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, it is extreme, so I guess whatever. But I mean, you know, you could do it this year.
Yeah, no, I was just asking, you know, I mean, like, you know, you didn't take away the Deadner rule, so you know, I'm not going to make you. You know what I mean? I'll just move the Deadner. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll just follow the parameter of whatever's allowed. You know, so that ain't nothing to me. You know, I think it's a good idea. You know, I mean, in the world of mic traps, you know, I really like working on that because, you know, you can make 5, 6, 7, 8 changes in a day's time, you know, and really learn a lot about it, you know. So, I mean, I've had many sessions where, you know, I've gained like a dB and shaved off 2,000 watts, like in a day's time.
That was me, like pretty before world.
Right. Yeah. You know, secret tunnel. So, yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Cody. I just, like I said, to me personally, even as a longtime sound pressure competitor, and you know, I don't know, somebody that won quite often and had a lot of winners around me, I think even from my perspective, I know it's a lot more prestigious to do it the other way. So yeah, I like projects. Yeah, I like doing stuff like that. Yeah, I like at the end of the day, basically, to me, it's giving people free score that don't cost them $5,000 or that don't cost them, $1,000 or whatever it is. A lot of those things that I feel like we allow are ways for the folks to catch up, or that they might not necessarily see it that way, but it's a way for them to close the gap. But hey, sometimes we live and learn, because my personal opinion and everything like that is, the harder I make the rules, the tighter I make the rules, the more of a disadvantage it becomes for the people that might not understand everything that the people that's been doing it for 20 years do. Because I can promise you this much. We can make the rules say the meter goes underneath the car on the ground, and the same guys that are winning now, as long as they still maintain the same drive, they're going to win again. So, I mean, it's not necessarily for that. It's more of a perception, and, basically me trying to make it feel like it actually means something more than, this guy built the best mic trap. So, not that it didn't anyways, but I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from. And I mean, obviously I got the two kings of it right here, and I'm sure that they'd be fighting me tooth and nail if they thought I was wrong. I'm sure they don't like it, and I'm sure they had a lot more fun while they had it. But trust me, if they really thought I was wrong, they'd be in my ass. So, bad.
Right. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. But I mean, it's the difference. I'm gonna miss doing a 175 on 14K. But I can do it on 19 and a half. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like it's it's the last 5%. You know what I mean? It's if your build is solid, you're gonna excel no matter where you put the mic.
Yeah.
So I'll just have to, change my cones on my subs, because they're set up to be really efficient, and I'm gonna have to go with something with a little bit more gumption to it, so I can actually use all my amps. Because
unlimited power,
yeah,
turn it
right.
up.
I mean, I've only turned it up to 50K.
Right.
So, and because the cones start folding up, because they're built for a power class. So once I get those cones changed out, it might change the game a little bit for me, where I can add another 50K to it,
Matt, it's a rule to punish us, not to benefit us.
Y'all are in timeout.
I'm sure there'll be something else added to the rule book next year.
Yeah, what you're doing with this rule is you're limiting interpretation.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest about it. Like, if I read it one way, Jake's going to read it another, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
No, it's pretty straightforward, man.
Have you read it yet?
Yeah, I mean, I read it once, but like, I haven't called Danny about it. We haven't had our skull crusher about, the manipulation involved and what this new reading is.
Right.
So, but I mean, like,
it's going to be pretty hard, bro.
Oh no, I get you. It should be.
It's pretty black and white.
Okay, well, under the plane of the dash, I get it. So
the meter must be
man.
The meter has to be open to the cabin's atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. I get it.
Yeah.
That there's still room for improvement, though. There always is. Yeah. I mean,
and you'll show me where it's at, and then I'll fix it.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah, we'll be doing this again next year.
I can't believe you do that job for me for free every year, Curt. Curt R&D's my rule book every year for me for free.
Danny's the real one. He was told that he's the reason there is an R&D committee. Right. Yeah. Yeah. If there's anything crazy, I get a hold of you first, because I'm not going to waste my time if it's something that's clearly not what you were thinking within the spirit of the rule.
No, we don't say that.
Yeah.
No.
It's not. There's no more spirit of the rule. It's in the rule book or it's not.
Right.
You know your food.
Sorry, I got craft services out here. Should bring
Yeah,
you
we
some
all
apple.
got some crap services. What are those miniature bananas?
Dude, they got the banana thing going at work. It's terrible. Like they're ordering all this stuff off of Amazon, and there's like a hide the banana every day. Like sometimes it'll be at my desk, sometimes it'll be on the wall. They move it every day. Oh yeah, I got this. Yeah, 3D printed banana. It's everywhere.
Heck yeah.
Oh. I eat it for the shape, not the taste.
The vibes of the rule.
Oh wow.
What's going on, Mr. Craig, Mr. Coe? Yes, Josh Coe, the points requirement to compete at World Finals is 65 points.
It's at the shop, Wit.
Well, Mike, there's always ways around it, but like a part of the problem here is, or maybe what people don't understand is who I am. And the ones that do understand probably already know that between me and Joe, you're not going to write a very much more fair rule set when it comes to people that understand and know sound pressure. So that's my take on that. That you can find the gray area, absolutely, but you'd be hard pressed to find something that I don't already know is there, or that I'm not leaving you on purpose, because my rule book is a roadmap. It's not a rule book. It's a roadmap to how to build a car. If you read the rules and pay attention, then you'll see what I mean. The rule book gives you everything you need to know to successfully prep and build a world championship vehicle without you having to figure it out on your own. So to me, our rule book is more of a roadmap than it is a rule book. And that's just kind of how we've tried to set it up. Is it perfect? No. Are people always going to find stuff to do that we don't necessarily like? Absolutely. At that point, it's our job to decide, do we allow them to keep it or do we change it? And, you know, I think we try to do a pretty good job of that. And we don't always make everybody happy. Sometimes we tick a lot of people off. But 99% of the time, there's a pretty darn good reason. And it's a big picture thing. It's not a me thing or any individual thing. We always try to look at, what's the bigger picture around this. So I don't know. That's just kind of my 2 cents on the rule book. It's not necessarily a rule book. It's more like a roadmap.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of secrets in the rule book that'll help you get loud if you read them right ways. When it tells you can use something or you can't use something somewhere or whatever,
Yeah, and that's exactly what the rule book is written for, and rules are rewritten to level the playing field. I mean, that is what it is. If you find a 3-amp fuse that you can put 57 amps through, you're going to have an advantage. You know what I mean? So then you're not allowed to use many ATCs anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. If they say you can use sandbags and you use 16,
right.
Next year only about 10.
Right. If everybody has to use audio pipe 80 amp A&Ls, it's fair. But that's never going to be a thing. So I understand. I always understand the rewriting the rules. It's not in my best interest a lot of time because a lot of them rules are there because
there is no judge's discretion. It's either there or it's not. some people just don't have very good reading comprehension. But we don't use judges' discretion. I guess maybe with these new rules, I might have to start teaching them that, but I don't never teach that. So
Yeah, you try to make it as black and white as you can. Get rid of that gray area.
right. I don't care what the moisture content is. I care what it weighs.
When you bought it.
Well, I mean, if I decide to weigh them and they weigh over 60 pounds, you better make sure it's dry as the day you bought it. I mean,
Oh, I'm glad we talked about that.
I mean, I ain't gone that far yet, but I mean, we can if we think we need to.
You're straight, dude.
I'm gonna get an industrial scale and have it right there at the lanes.
Oh, trust me, I'm buying one tomorrow.
Weigh these up, bros. What's going on, Mr. Dutton? Mr. Tully, rule books. I have over the last few weeks here updated every single rule book we have. There was changes. Let's see. There was some changes in almost all of them. But I would say that the most, I wouldn't even say change, but the most that got added to was sound pressure this year. We fixed a couple of rules in sound quality. We took away the band limits in stock class, so you're allowed unlimited bands in stock class now. You still have to choose either a head unit or a DSP, but you're allowed unlimited bands. That way it gives competitors a little bit more freedom, shops a little bit more freedom, to install some stuff in there and upgrade it. I believe we changed some of the kick panel rules to allow for a little bit larger of a kick panel because some of them are having like 10.5s or 11s and stuff now. So I think we upgraded that in sound quality. And then the only major change was to a scoring section on the score sheet. We used to have 2 linearity sections. I know I'm speaking French right now to Curt and Jake, but we used to have 2 linearity sections, an upper and a lower linearity. So you had like 80 to 95 dB and 95 to 105 dB. And what we decided to do there was we took the upper linearity and basically demolished it and made linearity 1 5-point section instead of 2. So now you get 5 points for the 1 linearity section, 80 to 100 dB. And then we took the 5 points that we got from demolishing the upper end linearity section and added a section for listening, experience, and enjoyment. So now there's 5 points for listening, experience, and enjoyment in the SQ book. And I believe off the top of my head, those are the most notable things. I think, I did some formatting and stuff at the beginning, but those were the only changes. Let's see. Let me see if I can catch up here. Did you get Rad Unlimited what?
I think he's asking if there's a unlimited modified street class for Red X.
Talking about X classes,
Yeah.
I did add 2 X classes. One is XMS Unlimited. So that went into the standard section. So now you do have an unlimited class for XMS. There is not an unlimited class for Mod 5. Those cars go to extreme still. But as far as modified street, there is that class, and then we added a center console and dash subwoofer location class in that section. Y'all having fun yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
What hang up behind you? Oh, he's gone.
oh,
Uh-oh. He's gone.
Curt dipped on us.
Okay, he disconnected. He was in the middle of a sentence.
So that's what I added to X classes. So no, we didn't really add a modified 5, if that's what you're talking about, or a modified unlimited. Those vehicles will fall into extreme still. See, Curt's back.
Oh.
You got disappeared, Curt.
Oh.
Yeah. I couldn't afford my Wi-Fi this month. Sorry.
What?
Had to switch to cellular.
Yeah.
We forgot AOL.
Yeah.
Trap box
I
is
got
back.
that.
Yeah. Someone tag Robert Wendell right now.
I don't know. I really wasn't trying to get that deep into it just yet, but I guess I did anyway. So, because like I said, I'm still waiting for the last of the folks to stamp it, but I think I had it pretty close to where everybody was agreeing anyway. So, but I'm pretty confident in everything I mentioned so far. So, what else y'all up to? You got any plans for this year? What are y'all plans for this year?
What do you
Me, like, upwards of 20 events we'll have, like between like 2-day events and all that. So it'll be a really busy year. So trying to plan my life around that is also super fun, and building a car. We lost
Planning
Bud.
your life and building a car, huh?
Well, that and planning all the shows, you know.
Stamp. Chad stamped it. It's top secret. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Michael Madison. In Rad X classes, it has to be a factory center console, or you can remove it, but that's it.
No, so I think he's asking about like the center
if you're
console
talking
rad
about
class.
if you're talking about like actual radical extreme class,
XCC.
then no, I didn't really place any stipulations on that at this point. So, you know, and as far as extreme goes, there is a rule on where the meter's placed at this point. But there's not a whole lot of real extreme cars that are actually competing. So, I mean, if we do start seeing them, then I'll start talking to those guys and we'll start trying to, you know, make that one mean something to them as well.
Tried to veto all of it. Joe isn't happy.
Mr. Aaron, no, I have not made any final decision yet on where finals is going to be. I'm still waiting in limbo for basically to hear back from somebody about trying to work together. And once I get that information, I'll have a better answer for you. You know, I do have I did kind of have my own plans already for sound pressure, but with all the changes that went on, I'm waiting to hear back from somebody, and then I'll be able to, answer you. I should be able to make the announcement by the 1st of March. No, that's definitely not a question at this point, Mike. So the center console class, it's something that I really haven't seen before. I'm sure that there's probably one out there somewhere in the 40 organizations that we have. But basically, it's the only X class that meters at the headrest. And then there's several guidelines in there that pretty much make sure, you're not going to be able to get a port or anything close, super close to the meter. I mean, I'm not saying they might not get one, about 12 inches away from it somehow, but, they won't get it all the way over to it anyways. How about that?
Try me.
Anytime, Aaron. We'll be seeing you soon, man. I'll be back in a minute. I'm on a union break.
Nice. Oh, shoot.
You got any big plans, Curt?
I mean, I usually use the winter to do a big project on the van, but this year I used it to work on the house. And as soon as I get done with that, I'll get back to business. I mean, obviously I have some work to do now, after the scheduled rules, so, and I don't really have a lot. I mean, I'm built, I just need to be better, so I'll be testing a whole lot. And, I got some revisions that I can still make to, try to get a little bit more score, I'm not done, that's for sure. I'm looking for a little car to build for like an R&D thing, but I haven't found exactly what I'm looking for yet. I just want something I can stack 215s in and kind of mimic the van, so I can make, soft part changes and things like that to make it equate over in the van without having to cut 12 subs up every time I want to do something. So, plus it's a little easier on transportation. That's not really my favorite part of the whole thing.
You love driving that thing around.
You don't like hauling it on a semi?
Yeah, I do, but my semi can't go outside of Ohio. It's great on the semi. I love it. But like it's just not functional for me. This ain't the land. This ain't the Land Rover. This thing's got some weight to it. It probably weighs.
Land Rover's pretty heavy too, man.
Nah, the Land Rover's like 9,000, and that's with 52 lead acid batteries in it.
Well, hell, there was your 215 stacker right there.
Yeah.
Go get it back.
Yeah. I bought a distributor for that once, right? You can get one for a GM, like a 4.3 liter, for probably like $500 or less, right? I paid $1,000 for a used one on eBay. That was like the best deal ever for a distributor. I'm not living that life anymore. I'm not going to build a land.
So you won't let me live through you vicariously and build me a G-Wagon?
We were talking about that the other night. That's
the G-Wagon. We'll build
perfect vehicle. Perfect vehicle. Until
the
you start
G-Wagon,
snapping shit
until
off
you start looking at how much they cost.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. You just messed that trim piece up. That'll be $94 that you part it. You know what I mean? No thanks, dude. No thanks.
Man, they used to bring them things in at the dealership, and I'd be like, man, I need that. And some of them will be ragged out and like clapped out too. And I'd get it and look at it and be like, well, shoot, it drives, but it's clapped out. I'm about to see how much they want. Fuck, $45,000. I'm for a 10-year-old car that's clapped out.
No thanks, dude.
Mhm.
I'm looking for a Dodge Omni, thanks. Something like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I've
Low
seen them
curb
in the
weight.
20. I've seen them in the 20s now that they've gotten a little older, but it's still too much for a car you're going to do that to, I think.
Yeah, no thanks. You need a crank sensor. It's $730. I'm straight, dude. Yeah, give me a Dodge Omni. All you got to pull the motor, and give me $400 and you get a new one,
Totally said they got an 87 Toyota Tercel hatchback on Marketplace where he lives.
Where's that at?
I think he's down in Alabama.
Alabama.
Hey, we got the tow
I got
dollars.
like a 100-mile radius rule too. If I can't find it within 100 miles of here, I don't want it. So,
Dodge Daytona, that'd be like a throwback, wouldn't it?
yeah, I know a guy.
Ford Fiesta. Dude, you can't even find a Ford Fiesta anymore.
Yeah, Festiva would be fine, but like, you'd have to start with some suspension work. You know what I mean? Like, you need LT tires on a 13-inch rim. No, like, it's going to have to be something that's manageable, all the way around, because I'm going to that car up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's going to be like the van, but an Escort. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to be a brick poop house.
Right.
For me to get, what I want to get out of it. I need to remain competitive as a points chaser. I'm not gonna go get 5th place at every show because
you gotta do like a 62 locally.
Come on, Terry.
A 62 what?
You gotta do like a 62 locally to win your classes, right?
I mean, if it's that local, I'll just drive the van. You know what I mean? But like, if I want to go to Michigan or something, I'll take the Horizon or Omni or whatever I got. Yeah,
right.
I can buy a 2-axle trailer and haul that. I just don't have the $80,000 truck and the 6-axle or 6-tire trailer. You know what I mean? Or a tandem or something. That's not functional for me. I don't have enough money to dedicate to this. I got too many other vices.
I'm sitting here thinking what kind of car I would get if I was you, but like the hardest part for you saying what you want to use it for is like how you about to mimic that window, homie.
What do you mean? That window? You can get 2 windshields for a Chevette, bro.
No, I'm talking about the actual how the surface area and the curvature.
Oh yeah. Man, you gotta remember them old cars are built better. They're on average they're 2 to 4 gauge steel thicker than some of this new stuff. The Kia boys could still steal it though.
Right.
So, but yeah, basically, I need a wire to start the car. You can have everything else. Oh, it doesn't have air conditioning? Cool. That's 40 more pounds I don't need to take out of it. So, but yeah, less electronics, the better.
I don't know. For some reason, I think that's an extremely horrible idea, Joe.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, let's talk. I mean, I'll leave the banner on it. You know what I mean? I'll tape it off so I don't get body filler on the outside when I'm climbing in it.
Right.
Yeah, let me know.
Well, maybe
get my DMs.
It's not a virgin. It's not a virgin, Curt.
It's okay, man. It's
does
okay.
It go down in the DM?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's where it definitely goes down.
He wants a street car he can mimic his wall without building one. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fun. I could probably be competitive in MM5 with that, with a street box.
USBs for the win. That reminds me something. Do they want to talk about that part?
Do it. I'm sorry that I broke Parking Pound too.
Do what now?
I'm sorry that I broke Parking Pound and you had to do the flash drive thing.
Oh, it's all good. So I'm sure some of you heard about this too. So for Park and Pound, I have Park and Pound tracks now. I should have them before I leave for Florida on flash drive. So starting at the 4Xs this season and World Finals, you'll have to use a MECA provided USB at 4Xs and World Finals for Park and Pound. I'm pretty confident I can go ahead and say this too. We're going to bring out 2 new music formats this year. So one of them's going to be basically headrest metering with the Park and Pound tracks. No doors are allowed to be open, only windows or hatches, whatever glass openings are allowed to be opened. But basically doors sealed at the headrest metering location, 30-second average, just like Park and Pound.
Ready to connect.
And I don't want to do that.
Connection successful.
And sorry, she's turning on Bluetooth stuff, and now my computer's and your phone's playing that. And so that's the music class at the headrest, kind of like the old reality classes we used to do, if you remember that, as far as how the car is allowed to be opened. But music in the car, people's been asking me for probably the better part of 10 or 15 years for that. So here it is. The second music class is going to be a bandwidth class. I'm hoping some of you guys will hear that and maybe you'll like it, try it out. Hopefully it'll be something for, fun. For some of you bigger demo build guys, things like that, but it's a bandwidth class. I'm calling the class Bandwidth Bangers. Basically, I got a 3-minute track, and the track plays 20 to 50 hertz only. 20 to 50 hertz, and it's a 60-second rolling average throughout the year. 60 seconds on the track. You can play any part of the track you want. It's all basically looped the same. So it's 20 to 50 hertz, 60 seconds average on the meter. And then at World Finals, instead of bringing in the top 2 or the top 3, we're going to bring only the top 2. You'll qualify on a minute. And then for the World Championship in this class, you'll go head to head against the competitor that qualified second, or the top 2 competitors will go head to head, and they'll play for 120 seconds or 2 minutes. So basically this is going to be, the true test of your system's ability to not only, handle playing all those frequencies, but it's going to test things thermally. It's going to test things in your enclosure. And if you're truly about, demoing and playing music, I feel like that's what, the goal is. So hopefully some of you guys will think that's fun and come and check it out. And if you don't, it's in there anyways. So let me try to answer some of these here. New songs for sound quality, Mr. Aaron. I did not add any songs this year. I do maybe expect to add a few next year. But for this year, what I did was basically we completed some notes for the competitors. So those notes are in the rule book now. And then also completed, staging maps and things like that for the judges training. We put a lot of effort into that stuff to, try to help really help revamp things and try to get everybody going on the same page again. So Like I said, I spent a lot of time here the last few weeks, not only on the rule books, but I'm also been spending a lot of time revamping training modules, creating training modules. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys been around or who's judged and hadn't judged, but I built a training module for basically every format we have except for Ride the Light because it's so short, and MECA Kids because all the MECA Kids stuff is basically covered inside of the general and regular rules. So we now have standard training presentations for every format, from show and shine, ride the light, install sound quality, sound pressure, show. What else? I don't know. My eyes were cross-eyed, so I probably forgot one. But I put a lot of effort into that this year, and I'm hoping that, come the judges training and come time we get around to all the judges and stuff this year, by the 2027, hopefully I've presented my vision and things like that in the correct way. And, we see a lot more consistency around, what we do at every event. Let's see. The PMP tracks are different frequencies to select from. Essentially, there are 2 frequency tracks. So I chose 2 frequencies instead of 3. Like I think most people would put 3 frequencies in music most of the time. But I chose to go with 2 frequencies instead of 3. That way, it's still as advantageous as possible for the competitors. If we use 3 frequencies, that's going to probably hurt even worse. From the couple of folks I've sent the tracks out to, I'm going to guesstimate, somewhere between 3/10 and 7/10 might go away. But the frequencies are laid out, 2 frequencies per track. So basically, I think it's 15 to 80 hertz. You got like 15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and so on and so forth. So there is different tracks to choose from, and you'll just have to find the one that matches your build type the best. I guess while we're talking about all the music classes, I also put an 80 hertz cap on all music classes. So Park and Pound, the cabin headrest class for music, and the bandwidth class are all 80 hertz frequency cap. What else? World records for the music classes don't have to require a backup. So if you have a clamped class, you do have to, follow our double clamp thing. That's officially in the rule book now too. So, and what I'm doing and what I'm looking at and all that stuff's laid out in there. I know some people, might not like it or might want to argue about it, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is the term lab is the tool. The term lab is the standard, and that's what we use. I'm merely double checking the term lab and using physics. The amplifier cannot make power out of thin air. So if it goes in, I know what went in. So it pretty much from there, it's a few little simple math, and basically all Class D amplifiers have to be within 20%. So the input has to be within 20%, or I'm not going to certify the record. For Class AB amplifiers, I give you 40%. So that's what I'm looking at. That's essentially the rule. It's only a checks and balances thing. Just for the simple fact that, I feel like the competitors ask for that. So it's a checks and balances thing. But I still believe in the term lab as the standard and what the tool is that it is. So I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. but it is basically physics. So, you know, it's a law. Let's see. I don't know what you're asking me there, Aaron. We don't really do money round. Sometimes we're in attendance at the events, but I'm not sure I quite understand what you're asking me there. I will let you guys know a little bit more about how to get them. But yes, I will have USBs for purchase on the website when I get back from Florida. There's also going to be another way to go about getting them, and they should be pretty readily available for competitors. But I will have USBs with me in Florida. Right now, I'm going to do $20 a piece on the USBs. You'll be able to buy them from me in Florida. And obviously, I'll be providing one. So you don't have to buy one. But if you want one, I will have one with me at the first 4X coming up in Florida. And then as soon as I get back, you'll know before I get back, because I'm going to have a live while I'm there. And I'll probably be able to release them in the secondary location the day after the 4X. Let's see. All SQL competitor. Yeah, I mean, I know what the format is, Aaron, but we don't generally, currently, I don't generally have a competition like that currently. I wouldn't mind being able to put something like that together. I mean, one of my goals in this thing is to eventually be able to make it that way, but that's a lot harder, easier said than done. However, we don't really have a quote unquote money round currently, but I'm not saying that something like that might not happen in the future. All right. What are y'all doing?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
We're
I'm about to
listening
go
to you
sleep.
talk, man.
Yeah. I ain't the one to interrupt usually,
Right.
I just blabbered away.
Yeah.
Bruce, listening to you.
What about the Park and Pound X that I heard something about?
What's going on, Conehead? Park and Pound X class. What's that? I never heard of her.
Well, it's hearsay. Basically, I would say it's a unlimited Park and Pound class where you can put sandbags on it so you didn't crush your windshield.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, something like that. That's how I do it.
Look, Ricky, never mind. I can't do that here. But anyways, Ricky, yeah, I did that while I was cross-eyed at 3:35 a.m. I decided that we're adding a Park and Pound X class. And basically what that is just an unlimited class that follows the extreme class rules. And since extreme cars are going to have bolts and stuff in their doors or have their doors welded closed, things of that nature, you got a Park and Pound X class where you can use sandbags or straps or, the suction cup things, whatever mechanical means of bracing you want to use. And no people still. But you could use bracing, and you can pull up on either side. So you could meter from the passenger side or the driver's side. And that's Park and Pound X class. The rest of them stay the same.
I'm game.
No, you're not. You're not ready.
Some of these are things that I've been getting requests on and things like that. And I don't know, like I said, I got into the rule books and started writing and editing and doing stuff. And then the next thing you knew, I was like, you know what? YOLO. And
Yeah, I get it.
so I just did it all.
I like it. I'm down for that. You know, I just don't like hitting my windshield with that much pressure for 30 seconds. And if I find a track that's not 25 hertz off my peak, I might be a little bit more competitive, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Danny, I don't think he
So,
will.
Oh, I
I
guess
think he's actually scared of it. Like
the
he's
street
talking to
guys
him
will
right now.
want to
We're gonna be in
know.
the shop. He's like, I'm scared to turn it up past 2,000 watts.
yeah, 50 hertz.
You can't Peter, let me let you go.
Tully still one brace beef pillar forward. I mean, in extreme class, I don't know that that's really a thing, but I mean, I guess if you put 50 of them in there, it might be. But it, like our extreme class rules are very, very, very wide open for the most part. So, I mean, if you're talking about the Parker Pound X class or the extreme classes, you could kind of do whatever you want, I suppose, until until we decide we want to do something different, I guess. But all the modified 4 and 5 classes are still one brace, yes. All right. I guess while I'm here, street class sound pressure. Mike, they go up to 80.
Plenty high. Chad, I agree they should back up through the lanes, not mess up the flow and try to cut.
Street class sound pressure, we're moving to a 12-inch rule, kind of like modified street. So you still got to be behind the seat in the latch position, except for instead of using the top of the seat line, we're going to use the 12-inch rule now. So that's a major change in street class. I think that was the only thing major there. Modified street was for the most part the same. Modified pretty much the same. Like I said, I'll make posts and stuff for y'all. I didn't really plan on getting this deep into this tonight, but I just started, so I guess here we are. Thanks a lot, pals.
I didn't do it.
Dueling demos. So I wouldn't say there's changes per se. I definitely went through and reformatted the rule book. I tried to make it a little bit more, hopefully a little bit more logical and easy to follow. Hopefully it's a little bit more clear and concise. I don't think I really changed any of the rules per se. As far as classifications of the vehicles, it should just be laid out in a little bit easier of a manner to follow, and hopefully, that'll make it easier on the judges and the competitors. I did change
listening distance, right?
I did change the distance of single position to 25 feet for single position. Obviously, we were scoring it on an 80-point scale last year, and we didn't have 360 sound. I added a section for single position, so it's worth 100 points now also. So instead of 360 sound, you have a section that's called projection. So it'll say 360/projection on the score sheet, or projection/360. But basically, if you're doing the standard walk around dueling demos, they'll be judging the 360 sound just like they always have. But if you're doing single position, they will be judging projection. What projection means is basically stage width and height, and how much larger is it than the vehicle? Is it as big as the vehicle? Did it shrink when it got to me? Did it get bigger when it got to me? Things of that nature. So that should make that class, at least it'll be on a 100-point scale like the rest of them, and make it a little bit more fun or a little bit more challenging, however you want to look at it. 360 dueling demos. I realized last year that the rang layout from finals wasn't in there. And I mean, we've been kind of doing that since we took over. So we actually figured out all the measurements. I decided to add a fourth ring to the ring. So now the ring will have, I guess, a parking spot, and then it'll have a dead lane that's 6 feet like it has been. And then you'll have the first judge's lane, the second judge's lane, and the third judge's lane, which those progress in 3-foot increments. And then we'll have a fourth judge's lane. For modified street and street classes, the judges will walk in the nearest 3 lanes that are labeled as judge lanes. For modified cars and extreme cars, the judges will walk in basically the outer 3 rings. And then the 5th ring on the outside is a smaller ring that we've dedicated for basically media, because, we got to keep all those camera crews out of our hair while we're judging. Dueling demos. Did I change anything else big in there?
I don't really think so. Didn't you do something with musical display or something?
Yes. Musical display. So that was previously song choice. There was confusion, even though the rule book laid it out differently and it was in the rule book the way, what it meant. There was confusion, and folks thought that meant we were listening to how good their song sounded, or I guess it was how good their song sounded, but I guess they were thinking that it meant we were basically voting on how much we liked the song. And it didn't really have anything to do with how much we liked the song. And, in my old country bumpkin brain, I thought, well, what I mean is the display of the musical sound. So I wrote, musical display. That sounds good. Well, then I guess it created some more confusion because it also used to be part of the showmanship section. And so, some folks maybe thought it was more along the lines of showmanship because I wrote display. So some folks were confused and thought that it went, was basically like me judging your screens and your lights and stuff like that. So that's not what it was. So now it is called tonal coverage. And that's exactly what it is. They are judging if the song you chose displays all of the musical information. If it has good mids, highs, it's basically another portion of the clarity section and a lot smaller of a thing. So, they're basically listening for, did the song have vocals? Did the song, have crisp mids, but maybe it sounded like the singer was in a hallway. So it's things like that. And I don't want it to get confused with sound quality. So I try not to directly use the same terms, because I do feel that it's a little bit different. It's not as strict as sound quality, even though music is music and you're still looking for the quality of the sound. A lot of the dueling demo stuff is going to be like electric. It's going to be more upbeat. It's going to be a lot of your club type of music. So I guess the concept is more of a live concert sound than it is maybe a live band sound. So it's been kind of tricky to essentially, I think I have it laid out and figured out now, but I guess it's been tricky, to get that happy medium that we're looking for between the two. We did take single position down to 1 minute and 30 seconds instead of 2, but 360 stays the same. There was something else somebody said about dueling demos I thought that I missed. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's close to all of the dueling demo stuff. I know some of you guys heard a couple weeks ago I said that I had reference tracks for my dueling demos training. I do. But guess what? It's still y'all's party. You get to still play whatever you want when you're in the lanes. My reference tracks have nothing to do with y'all throwing your party in the lanes. A big part of this has been, and what has made it tricky is the part where we're going to keep allowing competitors to choose their own music. So essentially what I've done with that, just as a whatever, ain't nothing quick, but hopefully as quick as I can, just as an explanation, I have basically selected 64 tracks and gone through them and created a manual for the judges, things to listen for, how to use that when they're scoring the vehicles, and so on and so forth. Hopefully we'll see a lot more consistency out of that too, now that we have, a way for the judges to take those things home. It's not for them to basically, you don't have to play the songs. They don't have to judge you with those songs. Those songs are to calibrate and train the judges' ears. It's so that they can get an understanding of what things are supposed to sound like and what to listen for. And, if they practice enough, if they listen enough, eventually they're going to know how to pick those things out and how to listen to those sounds no matter what music it is. So essentially all it is 64 tracks that I picked that can display certain sections of the score sheet that do things really well for the score sheet, that allows the judges to be able to hear those things, and they can, play those tracks in different setups, scenarios, whatever. So that's what the reference track thing's all about. So don't worry, I'm not taking away your freedom to play your songs. That's a part of what makes it fun. I understand that. But I also want to create the most fair and basically professional format of this style, at least in the United States. And I think so far we've successfully done that as a team. So, it's a format that I'm proud of. I hope it keeps growing. And, I have definitely put a lot of work into that format over the last 3 years. So hopefully it just keeps on getting better.
Breathe.
Yeah. Through your nose.
My nose is all stuffed up. It's rough.
Joe had to bring that up.
Damn it, Joe. Oh.
You remember that one, Jake?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I guess I'll cover that real quick, and if nobody beats me up again, we'll get close. So, being able to compete in another sound pressure class. So, also, you're going to see a page in the rule book. You're going to see some adjustments in the guidelines on how you collect points and things specifically for this rule. So, we're going to try something new in the sound pressure divisions. Basically sound pressure divisions only. It should be laid out pretty clear in the rules. Basically, if you want to run, say you got a street car and you want to run street 1, cool. You could also run mod street 2. You could also run mod 3, so on and so forth. You can't run the vehicle inside the same division, so you couldn't run street 1 and street 2, but you could run street 2 and mod 2, or street 2 and mod street 1. something like that. So we're calling that the multi-entry rule. We're just going to see how it goes. I've had a few people inquiring and wanting something similar to that. So I figure I'd try to introduce it that way first and kind of see how it goes. If it doesn't go, we'll take it out. If it goes, we'll see where it goes.
We used to do that all the time back in the day. If I had a street car, I could run street, modified, and X.
Right.
I-
How you
Yeah.
like being the new event director there, Jake?
Oh, it's fun. I mean, it's not like super different from what it is. Besides, now I'm planning the shows, I guess. But luckily, Ohio is pretty well put together with like a great community. So there's like abundance of the big shows. Now we're at Slimology, the Brand X show. Liberty Base has already invited us. We'll be there this year. Details on that should be coming out. It's a pretty cool venue. And then what else is there? On top of all that, I'm like separate events, like of a Saturday and a Sunday. We're looking at like around 20 events in Ohio this year. So get ready to be busy and see me a lot. Hopefully Curt comes to more than 2 of them.
Semi-friendly, correct?
They're what? Some of them. I do think we are going to be back at Auto Boutique, which won't be demo friendly, but that'll be one of probably both of those will be food drives or something similar as well. Trying to give something back to the Columbus community.
That was a nice show.
Yeah,
And I can drive to it.
They are needed in lanes that. Wait, what are you saying, Chad? I don't
Chad doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't carry this. Curt, what you got?
Nothing, man. Your effort has already yielded a lot. I think you should probably just keep doing what you're doing. And just so you don't get burnt out. Try to have somebody help you where you can, because there's no way I could do that. Kudos to you for that, because I've seen kind of behind the scenes on how many man hours it takes to coordinate all this, and get sponsors and build trophies and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. You're definitely appreciated, and if there's any assistance I can do, reach out. So, but there should be a lot of people that can help you if you need it, So
Right, yeah.
Did you just come in here, Josh? If you missed it, I'm not sure. I wouldn't necessarily call it a low hertz class, but it's got to play low hertz.
Yeah,
But
it's got to play down to 20.
Basically what I'm coming out with is a bandwidth class. So it'll be 20 to 50 hertz, 60 seconds average on music. I'm providing the track. It's basically the same loop for 3 minutes on the bass line. And it's 20 to 50 hertz. So, yes and no. Because I know some people will say 50 hertz ain't low, but I say 20 to 50 is definitely in the limit of musical bass. So.
Okay, Craig. I'm saying that to Mike Madison.
Right.
Let's see.
We should have went down to 15.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? Right this second. I will, I did tell everybody a little earlier, the rule books probably won't get posted to the actual website until we launch the new one in March. I'm pretty sure I can upload the PDFs to Facebook. You'll just have to bear with me because I haven't done that before, but I'm pretty sure I think I can. I'm still got probably, I'd say we're about another 2 to 3 days out on me posting rule books. But I'll try to have them posted somewhere before I leave. If for some reason I can't do that, I will be making some posts over the next few days on Facebook that will basically highlight the changes from each class or each section, each rule book, however you want to look at that.
Yeah, definitely a lot of changes in there. I know on like copies we get, they're all highlighted, so like it definitely makes it a lot easier to see the difference. And there's been a lot of yellow this year.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions you guys got for Jake and Curt? Since I talked for them all night.
Hell yeah.
They're probably happy about that, though. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah, I can't carry
you know.
a podcast, you know. The reason I do car audio.
Right.
Me neither.
Yeah. Hey, I do want to tell you something. So at finals, you asked me to give you the definition of what the Lifetime Achievement Award is, and I kind of got off topic on that. So maybe this year at finals, I'll give you a true definition because I really had to sit down and like I've thought about that and stuff. You know, I just need to put it together. But you know, stop. There's a lot to it. You know, there's definitely a lot to it. It just ain't about longevity. So. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that one.
I don't know. It's a hard question to answer whether you're on the spot or not, really.
Right.
I mean, it means a lot because of, because of who the person was, all the way down to, the people that's won the award. I don't know. It's all kinds of things, really. To me, it's somebody that's not only been a championship, competitor or a winner in the lanes. Usually it's somebody that's helped MECA in some way, shape, or form. Also, they've been a judge or, whatever, all kinds of different stuff you could do. But, there's definitely, I think, a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, for sure. It's about growth, like the advice that you've passed down to somebody that didn't know that. And also the advice from somebody you wouldn't expect to get it from that helped you,
Right.
It's many, many years of that kind of stuff, That's what I'm saying. It's a very complex answer. So.
Eddie, I'm not sure if you're actually interested or what, but I'd definitely be willing to talk to anybody that wants to try. So I think Shannon put her phone number in there in the comments. If you want to reach out to her, yeah. And I mean, I'm even willing to, do it myself if we can put something together. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we did have people in California until about 4 years ago. But I mean, if we can get somebody going again out that way, regardless where it's at, anywhere out that way, we'd be more than happy to. So just reach out to Shannon if you're interested, and we'll kind of go from there. All right, are y'all ready for me to let you go home?
I think so.
I think so.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Well, y'all got any last word for the folks? I think we've been on here a little while tonight. I definitely appreciate everybody coming on and keeping it going. I don't guess it was that hard when I'm blowing off a bunch of rule book stuff, huh? But
yeah.
Our first show of the calendar year is March 22nd, Doylestown. $10 gate fee for competitors, $20 if you're just coming to demo. Should be a good time. I think I'm gonna have a food truck there.
Curt?
It's time
No.
to start. It's time to start testing. Get your like-minded
Now, I even
people
looked at my
together.
Parsons final.
Everybody already answered my question.
All
All
I
right,
do is charge my lithium and call it a day.
this is y'all's last question before we get off. All right.
All right.
Okay.
What's y'all's number one tip for a new competitor?
Buy a term lab. If you're taking it serious, buy a term lab.
Yep, that's going to gain you more decibels than doubling your equipment and making all these changes that you can't see what you're doing with it. You know, don't get frustrated when you start. You know, first time I started my van up, when I put the 1215s in it, it did a 51.4 on 6,000 watts. You know, and now I can do a 63 on like 2K.
Right.
You know, it's a headrest. So, I mean, don't get frustrated. You know, just it's time to find your like-minded people and, you know, have a skull crushing session and, you know, work together, you know, work on his car and then work on this car, you know, and
Yeah, you know, like what everybody else
you can-
sees is just the Sundays, like at the shows, where like the real fun time is your Wednesdays and your every other Sundays when you're just with your guys.
right.
You know, like that's where the
Yeah.
fun in the hobby is.
Yeah.
Just like
The
find your fun.
fellowship. Yeah,
For sure.
that's my biggest thing. It's always been the fellowship for me. You know, I mean, these people are all crazy just like me. Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, you know, I've got my close niche family at the shop, you know, but then like I miss my people that I only see 4, 5, 6 times a year. You know
Right.
what I mean? And we bounce stories off of each other and, you know, tips that we can take home and try and things like that. You know, the fellowship is definitely the reason I do this.
Right.
This is definitely a family thing, you know, and it's not like this everywhere you go. So, you know, treat it as such.
Don't use a Max Link.
I still got a brand new one. It's right behind me. Yeah, you want to use a DDZVL. It's a much better choice. You know, I don't have to resolder everything in it.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you this
We're doing
evening.
wings tomorrow.
I'm gonna let you guys get off here. You probably got like work and things to do tomorrow,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna paint the kitchen.
right? So I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk again soon, I'm sure. I guess say good night, and then I'll sign off with these folks, and we'll get on down the road here.
All right.
That's cool.
Good
Well,
night,
yeah,
everybody.
appreciate you having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no
Great
doubt.
time.
I'm
Get out
glad
there
y'all
and get
got to
going.
hang out with me.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll do it again.
We'll come
All
back.
right, brother. I'll talk to you guys
Let's
later.
go
Have a
Daniel
good
here
night.
next time with us.
Later, Jake.
See you
Later.
guys.
Later, Curt. All right, mecha heads. All right. I think I covered quite a bit of information tonight. I think I probably ought to leave it there. Like I said, keep your eyes peeled for some Facebook information on you know, the rules and the changes and stuff like that. Hopefully I cleared up any confusion for people that were confused about some things I said. I know it, even now that I've tried to say it clearly, I'm sure there'll still be some confusion and, you know, whatever, people like to talk. But if you have questions or you're concerned about something, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll try to get you the answers as soon as we can. Don't forget about the 4X in Florida, February 7th, Judges Training February 8th. We got a Valentine show in Temple, Texas. Those 3 are coming at you. You heard about the Ohio shows that are coming up. Like I said, poured a lot of effort into these books and these training segments, and hopefully we're going to see the next phase of MECA and moving on up some more. I appreciate everybody watching us. I appreciate all the support, and I'm looking forward to a great 2026. Things are looking up. We've added some new classes. I think we've made some pretty good changes, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the lanes this season. Until next time, Keep it loud and clear, MECA heads.